On the morning of September 5th, 1982, 12-year-old Johnny Gosch woke up early in his West Des Moines, Iowa home. Like many boys his age, Johnny had responsibilities. That Sunday morning, he planned to deliver newspapers along his usual route, something he had done countless times before. It was a routine his family trusted, in a neighborhood they believed was safe. Johnny left the house around 5:30 a.m. He never returned. Witnesses later reported seeing Johnny speaking with a man near a blue car while collecting newspapers. Another witness claimed to see Johnny running down the street, visibly frightened, as if trying to escape someone. These sightings, though alarming, were not treated with urgency at the time. By late morning, Johnny's mother, Noreen Gosch, realized something was terribly wrong. Johnny was punctual, he was responsible. He would never abandon his route without explanation. When she contacted police, the response was slow. Officers initially suggested Johnny may have simply run away. That assumption would prove disastrous. Critical hours passed without roadblocks, without an Amber Alert system, which did not exist yet, and without immediate neighborhood canvassing. By the time authorities began treating the disappearance seriously, the trail was already cold. As the investigation unfolded, troubling patterns emerged. Johnny was not the only paperboy to vanish under mysterious circumstances. Similar disappearances had occurred in nearby states, involving boys of similar age, many working early morning paper routes. Some witnesses described unfamiliar men offering help or directions. Others mentioned vehicles lingering too long. Despite these similarities, police treated Johnny's case as an isolated incident. Evidence mishandling became a recurring issue. Potential fingerprints were lost. Witness statements were inconsistently recorded. Leads pointing toward organized trafficking networks were dismissed as implausible. For Noreen Gosch, the official narrative never made sense. Johnny had no reason to run away. He had a close relationship with his family. He had plans for the future, and the sightings, men, vehicles, fear, suggested something far more sinister than a child choosing to disappear. As weeks turned into months, and months into years, the Gosch family refused to let Johnny fade into statistics. They conducted their own investigation, kept meticulous records, and followed leads that authorities would not. Their determination would eventually uncover claims so disturbing that many preferred not to believe them. Years after Johnny Gosch vanished, the case took a turn that would divide public opinion and permanently alter how the disappearance was viewed. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Noreen Gosch began receiving information suggesting Johnny had been abducted as part of a child trafficking network. Sources claimed Johnny was still alive and being moved between locations to avoid detection. While authorities dismissed these claims as conspiracy theories, Noreen continued listening because some details could not be easily explained. Then, in 1997, something happened that remains one of the most controversial moments in true crime history. Noreen Gosch claimed that Johnny visited her home. According to her account, a man appeared in her bedroom late at night. Identifying himself as Johnny, he reportedly explained that he could not stay long and that his life was still in danger. He told her he had been trafficked, abused, and forced into a life he could not escape. Before leaving, he asked her not to contact police. Skeptics immediately dismissed the story. Authorities stated there was no evidence to support the visit. DNA testing was never conducted. No official investigation followed. For many, the claim was too extraordinary to accept. But supporters pointed out something critical. Johnny's case file contained numerous inconsistencies, ignored leads, and reports that had never been fully investigated. There were documented connections between missing children cases across multiple states. There were witnesses who later came forward, saying they were pressured to remain silent. Even more troubling were later testimonies from other missing children survivors, some of whom described experiences eerily similar to what Johnny allegedly told his mother. Despite this, law enforcement agencies refused to reopen the case. Johnny Gosch remains legally missing. No body has ever been found. No suspect has ever been charged. The case exists in a gray zone between disbelief and unresolved truth. For some, it is a tragic example of parental grief manifesting in hope. For others, it is evidence of something far darker, an institutional failure to confront organized exploitation. More than 40 years later, one question remains unanswered. What really happened to Johnny Gosch?